Good morning. My name is Mary Ainsworth, and I'm so honored to be a guest on the podcast COVID-19, How Are You Coping? As I mentioned, my name is Mary, and I'm an American-Canadian developmental psychologist, known for designing the Strange Situation Experiment and helping further develop attachment theory. While I was in England, I worked with John Bowlby, another developmental psychologist, who first coined the term attachment. My work helped distinguish 3 different types of attachment styles that can be seen between a caregiver and a child. These attachment types are secure attachment, anxious attachment, and ambivalent attachment. While parenting has a lot to do with attachment styles, early year events that cause a parent to spend less time with their child can also lead to insecure attachments. Examples of these can be a single parent who needs to work long hours, or a childhood illness that causes the child to be hospitalized and spend very little time with their parents. Attachments early in childhood can have an effect later on life, especially when it comes to the regulation of emotions, adult relationships, and the ways we react to stressful situations throughout our lives. So let's take a deeper look into the different attachment types. Secure attachments are formed when a child receives reliable, responsive care. Having a secure attachment does not make you invincible, but it does help you to trust others and to be comfortable being alone and independent. An anxious attachment is formed when a child receives unreliable care. That is, the child's needs are met some of the time, but not consistently. This can cause someone to be very nervous and need constant reassurance from others. They will often have a hard time being alone or single. Lastly, an ambivalent attachment is formed when a child's needs are felt consistently. This can cause someone to be very untrusting of others and become very self-reliant, avoiding close and personal relationships. So you might be wondering, what does this all have to do with the current COVID-19 situation? Well, the way that you choose to cope with this pandemic can give a glimpse into your individual attachment style. Individuals with a secure attachment tend to regulate their emotions better than individuals with an insecure attachment. Although a securely attached individual will feel stress during this pandemic, they'll find ways to cope with that stress. And while they will really miss their best friend or romantic partner, they'll feel comfortable and secure being alone for a while. Anxious individuals, however, might feel like they got hit the hardest when it comes to social isolation. Those with anxious attachments crave relationships and may be feeling very depressed while socially isolating. This might lead to seeking out unhealthy coping strategies like drugs or alcohol. Surprisingly, the social isolation aspect of COVID-19 might not affect those with ambivalent attachments as much as the other 2. Since they prefer independence and avoid personal relationships, this type might not mind the isolation. And that is a little bit on how my theory about attachment styles relates to how you may be coping with the current COVID-19 pandemic. I hope you not only learned a little bit about psychology, but that you also learned a little bit about yourself as well. Stay tuned for our next episode of COVID-19, How Are You Coping? Bye for now, and remember to stay safe.